right, folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Well, winter feels like it's coming in a little early this year. Earlier today, I was outside working and it started sleeting, and I mean, it was just pouring down. Not quite below freezing or anything, but certainly cold, and they're talking about nighttime lows of in the mid to upper 20s this week later on. So that's what you have to deal with crazy weather that we get here in Missouri, and I think that a lot of us are going to have to deal with that this winter, which is why you should be getting prepared, not just because of the weather, but because of all the things going on and increased prices of heating your home. Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, I think, for a lot of people. I wanted to talk today to you, though, about it's November 1st. And for a lot of you, you might be wondering, what's the significance in November 1st? Well, the reason is because this is the day that a lot of places that have put mandates, a lot of states, a lot of businesses and stuff, was to be, their people had to have this by November 1st. And we're already seeing the effects of it. We've seen it for the last few weeks, and we're seeing some more of it, and we're most likely going to keep seeing it, and I'll tell you about that here in just a second. Look at this. New York City, so far, 9,000 employees are done, basically. They're on unpaid leave, is what they're saying. Another 12,000 are trying to get exemptions for that. And the fire department, it seems right now, is taking a big hit. They're saying up to 26 companies, fire department companies, are out of service. They're out of service because they're refusing to get this. And there's been videos pop up and pictures pop up throughout New York City showing trash piled up everywhere because the city's waste management service is not working as much as it normally would because, well, people aren't working there anymore because of this. We're not just seeing this, though, in New York. I mean, New York is kind of become a cesspool once again, and definitely a liberally run city. But we're seeing this in other places. The Mayo Clinic is saying that up to 8,000 employees could be on the chopping block. We're seeing this in other places. American Airlines over the weekend had to cancel over 10% of its flights because of staff shortages. And if that's not bad enough, Biden administration has announced that they're going to be setting some new rules for businesses, new rules for Labor Department that they're going to put out for businesses, because apparently now when a president states that it's a rule or a mandate, that means it's law all of a sudden. I kind of thought that that's what dictators do, not presidents. But apparently I'm just wrong, right? The president apparently can tell you how to run your business. I mean, that's what we've been seeing for the last 18 months, almost 2 years now, that presidents and heads of the health department and other people, governors, can just tell you how to run your business and how to run your life. And so we're not seeing them back down at all on this. And the reason why we're not seeing them back down on this is because I believe in my heart that this isn't about people getting sick or not. This isn't about anything like that. This is about a controlled collapse. We are watching that play out. And so they're not going to back down. Same thing with all this climate stuff. 400 private jets went to the event that's going on this week over in Glasgow, Scotland. 400 private jets. Apparently they care so much about it that they can all fly their private jets there. The president had 85 car in his motorcade, 85 cars. I mean, my goodness, that's a lot of depends to be carrying around in those vehicles. But the point is, I mean, we like to kind of tongue-in-cheek laugh about these things sometimes because they are so ridiculous, that the elites are trying to tell us how to live our lives because your old Ford pickup is gonna cause some major problem, but it's okay for them to fly around in their private jets. But the real reason that is this, we're seeing all this played out that I've talked about in other videos. We're watching a controlled demolition of our society. We're watching a controlled demolition of our country and around the world. This isn't just happening in America. I mean, look what's going on in Australia. I get people often, just about every week that live in Australia and watch this channel, messaging me, emailing me, let me know what's going on down there. We've seen it happen in Europe and in other countries where there is, it's to me, it's become so apparent that we're seeing a controlled demolition. I had a comment the other day. I don't normally address a specific comment, but this one I wanted to. The person said something to the effect that they were disappointed that I'm downplaying the severity of this. And I want to address that. I don't feel that I'm downplaying it. I feel that what is happening is extreme. It's very serious, and that we are most likely on the brink of a complete collapse of our system. And we are in those end times that many of you Bible believers like myself, that because of all the signs that are happening, that we are in that state. Probably the reason why I'm not on here is because I don't believe that the best way to get the point across is to just scream and shout and blow things up to the point that it's this kind of fear-mongering. I think that level heads are the ones that's going to prevail in this. Those of you that believe in the book and that believe in the Almighty Creator, we know where we're going to end up. That's not the problem. The thing that we're trying to prepare ourselves for is between now and the time that we're no longer here. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're getting ourselves prepared for. We know that these things are going to happen. They've been foretold for a long time. And we know it's going to get really bad. And I think that's what we're seeing start to play out, is the worsening of our times, the worsening of the situations that are playing out all over the world. That doesn't mean that we should, go into this fear and panic mode. It is bad. It is extremely bad. The markets look bad. The economy looks bad. We're in trillions of dollars of debt, and they just keep going. The debt to GDP ratio is absolutely horrible. The bond market's getting awful, and the things that the Fed is talking about doing is just going to make it even worse. The shipping and supply chain problems, bad. Heating costs, bad. Just costs in general, bad. The things that you need to get in your home this winter, the things that you need to buy in the store, food, parts for your vehicle, microchips for the things that you might need to purchase, bad. It's all bad, okay? I don't think that I need to get on here all the time and scream and shout, though, to tell you that it's bad. What we need to do is be getting ourselves prepared. We need to be preparing not just the preps that you're buying, but the skills. You need to be acquiring those skills of how to survive in tough times, in a world that you never thought you'd probably have to live in. Because I think it is going to come down to kind of two choices. You're either going to have to bow down, kiss the hand that feeds you, and comply with their ways, take their mark, whatever you want to call it, put their chains upon you. Or you're going to have to learn how to survive kind of on your own and within your own communities. I don't think that it's too far off to see a day that those of us that haven't complied with their rules may not have the options of going to a grocery store, may not have the luxury of doing that we may be completely on our own. And we're seeing that play out already in certain cities across this nation and around the world. So I don't think it's too far off to say that the rest of us may experience that at some point. This is why we have to be prepared. This is why we have to build our communities. That's why we're doing meetings around here, and there's meetings being held in other places. I'm not the only one doing it. There's a lot of people that are doing this, and people are hungry for that. That's why we're seeing people move out of the cities and get back to their roots. We're seeing people wake up and realize that it's not just about storing up some food. It's about learning to do things in a simpler way, learning to do things like our grandparents and great-grandparents did. Because that's probably about the only way that I figure that most of us are really going to be able to survive all this. Americans, the average American has no concept of what it's going to be like and what how they're going to survive, because they think that no matter how bad it gets, that there's always going to be a handout for them. There's always going to be someone there to take care of them. And there may be, but that's going to come at a very serious cost to people. And that's not something that I'm willing to pay. And I know that's not something that most of you are willing to pay. So that's why we get ourselves prepared. That's why we continue to acquire the skills and the knowledge and the training and the goods that keeps us alive, that protects us, that protects our belongings and our loved ones. And that's why we surround ourselves with people of like mind that we can depend on, that we can trust each other. Because we are probably, I would say at least in my lifetime, and most likely very soon, I don't think it's that far off, we're going to see some times that are going to be very biblical. And so but I don't want to get on here and get everyone terrified. I want people to take it serious, and I want people to put their effort into these things. When you start seeing, thousands and thousands of employees not allowed to go work, do you think that that's just going to go away? Do you think that all these businesses and states that are not allowing people to go to work because they don't have this, do you think that that's not going to cause any problems? Of course it's going to cause problems. It's going to exacerbate every problem that already exists in this nation. And this isn't going to go away anytime too soon. Many of these companies are run by shareholders that they have an agenda, and their agenda is right in line with what's going on politically in this country and many others. And they want to see a collapse. They know it's going to, it's going to help their pocketbooks, their bottom dollar. They don't care about yours and mine. They just care about their bottom dollar. And that's why we're going to see this play out more. We're going to see more and more companies, more and more people lose their jobs. Things are going to start to spiral out of control. They already are, folks. That's the thing. I'm not on here telling you what's going to happen in the future. I'm telling you what's happening right now. These things are playing out, and they're not as critical to the point yet that it's really impacting everyone's daily lives, but it's certainly starting to impact a lot of people's daily lives. And as things worsen, more and more people will be impacted. We're already seeing that in poll numbers of people of job approval ratings for the president and the things that are happening on a political level. People are starting to wake up, but I don't really think that it's going to do any good. Look at Australia again as an example. The people there are sick and tired of it. They're rising up. They're protesting. They're trying to resist in every way they can. But is it doing any good? Not one bit. Because the plan has been set in motion for quite a while. And I don't really think, next to a miraculous event, that they're going to deviate from that plan. And that's why you have to take it serious. That's why getting yourselves prepared is a very serious thing. So again, here we are, November 1st. I suspect that over the coming days and weeks, we're going to hear more and more companies let people go. We're going to see more and more employees without a job. Some of these places in some states are saying that they're not going to get unemployment because they've refused to get the thing. It's just going to keep getting worse. And here we have winter coming on. We've got the holidays coming on. Folks, buckle up. Get ready for the ride, because it's going to be probably the wildest one you thought you would ever see. All right, folks, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.